Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for joining us today on the live stream. Shout out to the NTZ crew, Jacob Time J, Michael Beach Life. All my old heads, that's Roger Walker. I saw Jeffrey Tatter on here, Doubtful Genius. Man, that was a great game, that North Carolina State game. They beat Oakland. You know, this is March Madness over there. I've been looking at some highlights and stuff. Any new viewers and subscribers joining us today, welcome to the live stream. And anyone catching this on replay, what's up, I Love LaChine? We always have a topic. It's basically, we're going to give the Philippines its flowers today. We're only going to talk about the pros, no cons today. What makes the Philippines such a great vacation and retirement destination? That's what we're going to talk about today. Because it's easy to beat up on this place, but everybody couldn't be wrong. All those people couldn't be wrong. You know, people talking about, oh yeah, do they sugarcoat the Philippines? Do they hype it up? Well, you have millions of people coming here every year. Something's going on. Something's right. They're doing something right. The peso is 56.4, man. It's just rocketing up. That's a peso in the last 48 hours. If you've been following that, which of course I do, that's a full peso, which is, unbelievable, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Anybody's ever been over here for a visit, or if you live in here, man, I need y'all's input today because we're going to give the Philippines its flowers today. I know I'm getting a lot of views, well, for me, on that, the truth about dating broke women, but I think people are taking it the wrong way. I'm not talking about women. I'm not talking about Southeast Asia. I'm just telling guys the truth about it. You know, when we come over here, people think that we know what's going on over here and that we're okay with that. But it gets old after a while. And I was just telling y'all some of the problems that you're going to run up against. But of course, everybody's the exception. And I've gotten used to that. That's okay. Don't say I didn't warn you. I just try to talk about stuff that's relevant. Hey, I Love LaChine. Did you and King Arthur get hooked up? Yeah, and he's coming right off my list today. I'm going to talk about that. Shieldman off grid says, I love living in the province, fresh air, nice people, and it's cheap. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that because one of the pros of this thing, because we're only going to talk about the pros, is the many different lifestyles to choose from. And I've got down here city, province, deep province, because there's a deep province and a province. Municipalities. These are these little cities and towns that if you're riding like from here to Dumaguete, that you pass, they're not quite cities. Then I've got beach life, or you can live Western lifestyle, a local lifestyle, a mix. It's diverse. It's diverse over here. What's up, Cisco? Brox 100. Well, I don't play golf, but obviously the Philippines are going to have golf courses here. I've had a couple of subscribers who actually visited me in San Carlos City. That's all they do is travel Southeast Asia playing golf, and AB is one of them. He brought his golf clubs with him. He played in Cebu and different couple of places around here. But evidently they are. Okay, he says, I haven't heard from the king yet. Hey, King, I sent you that. He said, I think I have your email address. Yeah, I sent it to you. What's up, Jack? He's living the beach life, basically. Well, kind of island living is what I should have put. He's in Bahal now. Good morning, brother. But today's show, is for people who may be on the fence, who may be overwhelmed by a lot of information you're getting about the Philippines. Because I give you the 360. I don't try to hide anything. I give you the good and the bad. Okay. Hey, what times the traveler says, I understand your point, Cal. As a foreigner, uh, us foreigners do pay for everything. And yes, most Filipino women are broke in money, but rich in personality, femininity, and everything else. Yeah, we wasn't even talking. I wasn't even going that route. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter if she's rich and all that, what times it travels. At some point, you're going to fall off that cliff and you're going to see the problems that I was talking about. Evidently, absolutely they are. That's what I said. I said, when you see these videos, they talk about all the great things associated with women in Southeast Asia. Okay, their modesty, they're very attractive, they're great women, but they always leave that one point out. Because I said, yeah, and all that's true. Their traditional ways, their values and stuff. Yeah, all that's true, but they always leave that out to guys about she's broke. Hey, lad. But yeah, you're right about that. I just want to try to help you as a man get into the mindset. I want you to know where you can make a more informed choice. Do I really want to deal with it? Okay. And that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to help guys to get all the facts. It's your retirement. It's your retirement money. You're gonna have less money if you're taking care of 2, 3, 5, 6 people. That's all I'm saying. But a lot of people uh, don't realize that. And when you're on your honeymoon period, none of what I said you're gonna think applies to you. Everybody's always, she never asked me for anything. And one guy said, I'd gladly give everything away just to have somebody. Yeah, well, in a minute, while you're on the honeymoon period, we do all kinds of stuff. Everything's okay, remember? Oh, you get lost, oh, it's okay. You don't know where to catch the taxi, oh, that's okay. It's so romantic getting lost in the Philippines or wherever. And then once everything settles down and gets quiet, you fall off that cliff. You be like, well, hell, I can't do anything. I can't buy anything. He said, Beautiful Lives was in town. Did he interview you? He didn't. They never even reached out to me. But I told y'all that, guys. I'm a different type of vlogger. They're not going to talk to me because I'm not going to do the entertainment thing. These guys are entertainers, basically. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying it's the reason why they don't reach out to me. I just talk about something totally different than what they talk about. They're vacation vloggers for the most part. So they're always going to be on the honeymoon period wherever they are. They don't want me to come on there and say something that's it's going to be in contrast to their show or whatever it is. I'm not the most popular guy over here. But you would think if somebody comes to the Philippines, especially if you're black, okay, that you would at least reach out to me just to get my perspective. They don't do that. And it's okay with me because that's one of the things that I love about the Philippines. It's less stress. There's no job, there's no schedule, there's no demands. Okay. But no, they don't reach out to me. They don't invite me on their panels. They don't do any of that stuff. And that's okay. But I just want to let y'all know that the Philippines is still the hot spot. It always was, man. Millions of people come over here. When somebody tells you, oh man, I had such a great time in the Philippines, you can believe it. All those people couldn't be wrong, man. Sammy Davis, a friend of mine, lives in Angeles City. He's got that bar. Guys, if y'all up in uh, Angeles City, man, show the man some support. Showtime. The beer is just as cold. The music is just as loud. The girls are just as beautiful. I don't get it. He's part of the Sunshine Shoulders community. Just go over and have a couple of drinks, man. Help. Get you something to eat or whatever. Give him some support. But he said, Calvin, he said, guys have been going crazy over in the Philippines, man, for decades. He said, going AWOL, missing ships movement, marrying girls on the first night they were there. He ran it down to me in a message one time, man. So that everybody couldn't be wrong about the Philippines. It really is a great place. I wouldn't still be here. What's up, Uncle Mo? He said, watching from Guam. A guy just left Guam, and he said OG Fred really helped him out a lot. Took him to all his appointments, showed him around Guam. That's what the Sunshine Shoulders community is good for. He said, I just got back home. He said, and buying a Glock 43X MOS. Wow. He said, how does a foreigner own property in the Philippines? That's a great question. Typically, we can't do it, but you can do it in a roundabout way. But it's if you a corporation, that's a good question for a lawyer. I'm not going to practice law on here without a license. I wouldn't know, but why is everybody so why are we so worried about owning land? You don't own land in your own country for real. You got to pay taxes on that until you die. And then when you die, you can't take it with you. But we want to run that. I mean, we just run that into the ground. When I owned my house in the United States, man, I was paying like $1,200 a year. Hell, that was way back in 2004 when I bought the house. I was paying $1,200 a year in local taxes on my house. So if I didn't pay that stuff, what I did was I had it put into my mortgage. So really, my mortgage was only $640, but when you put in my homeowner's insurance and my taxes, it was like 9 something. But you don't own land anywhere, man. But you can't. That's a good question for a lawyer over here. He said I asked him that, but they never did respond. They're never gonna respond, guys. Okay, I'm cut from a different cloth. They don't want anything to do with me, and that's fine, man. I don't need them. Ricky W said, ask her if she's the breadwinner of family. If she is, and you choose to date her, you will become the breadwinner for her and her family. If you are good with that, everything will be cool. Yeah, but that's not even what I'm talking about. But you're right about that. If you make her quit her job, you got to replace that money. I was just talking about most people, man. We're so excited to get over here and in Southeast Asia. We hear all these great things about women, about the places over here. We want a wife over here, a girlfriend, a living. But nobody ever tells you, man, what the problems you're really going to run into dating broke women. Okay? No matter, I'm not talking about the trade-offs. I'm not talking about the unspoken agreement. I'm just talking about, are you really okay with that? Can you really handle that in a long-term basis? All right, now I was giving you some problems that you're going to run into. Put the 100-pound backpack on and go about your business and see how that feels, because that's what it's going to feel like over here. When I do these vlogs, I'm telling you about my life. Okay? I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm trying to help you. Y'all make vlogs out of what y'all want to make. I'm telling you that once you get out that honeymoon period, because once you're up there, nothing anybody says are you going to listen to. You're the exception. Okay? When you're up there. It's only when you fall off the cliff and real life steps in Does anything I say and other vloggers say going to make any sense to you? Reg Down Rock said, beautiful lives mentioned your channel's resource for information. Yeah, I mean, he's a cool guy. I don't have anything against him, but the question was, did he reach out to me? And I just said, no, they never do. And not just him, but any of them. They never reach out to me. Hey, a collab. Or, hey, let me interview you, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they act like I'm invisible, like I really don't uh, matter over here, but I do. I have some traction over here. I've got a great following over here. It's just as big as his or anybody else's, but they seem to ignore me. Okay. I saw something with him and Phil P took a picture. She won't touch me. I mean, I live right up the road from her, basically. I'm always in Dumageddon. Okay. They know how to reach me, man, because if these trolls got my email, they do too. Okay, he says, I never really cared about the woman being broke. Yeah, that's what you're saying, Nathan, you drug free. After you do it for years, you will. In the beginning, that's what people say. I'm just telling you the problems you're going to run into. You say, I just want a feminine, loyal woman. And these are the qualities we love about women over here. This is what you get on YouTube and from your buddies who are talking about women over here. But they never tell you that they're broke. And they never tell you the problems you could encounter dating a broke woman. If you can handle it, okay. But at least let's talk about it. Don't pretend it's not there. It's the elephant in the room, man. It's safer to get a woman who has the same or more than you because you can lose a lot. He said in America it's safer to get a woman. Well, the marriage counselors, which a lot of them are divorced and separated. But financial advisors, some of the best in the world, these marriage counselors, they tell you, should you date a man or woman who's broke, who doesn't have any money? Across the board, it's no. Money issues are going to come up, guys. You can't hide that. It's a deal breaker after a while. Because they say, well, these relationships are working. They just holding on, man. At some point, if when I talk about broke, I'm not talking about poor. Poor is a state of mind where they've given up any hope of ever getting better. A broke person will work. Okay, still feels like, they get up in the morning, this is the day my ship comes in. Because a lot of guys get on there, well, my wife was broke at first, but then she's over here, she earns more than me now. Okay, well, good. But in the beginning, she was broke. And that's the type of broke woman I want, who still has some ambition, who still has some dreams. But if you stand here and watch my video and say, I don't have a problem with it, man, you're crazy. You're going to have a problem with it. Hey, what's up, Michael Johnson? He says, I know a woman that I have feelings for who has no retirement savings. Yeah, in the short run, it may work, guys. I promise you. Or if you make some type of agreement where, okay, I'm going to be the breadwinner, you just stay home and take care of the kids or whatever. But I'm talking about we're coming into it dating women who are broke. Usually if you do that in your home country, she's got some type of job, some type of financial, means. You're walking into a situation where there's nothing. So, okay, it doesn't matter if you're okay with it or not. I'm just giving you some problems that you're going to have to handle. You retired, you think you're retired. When the weight of everything is on your shoulders, man, you're supposed to get rid of that when you retired. But we can't help each other because everybody wants to be the exception. Everybody wants to push back instead of adding to the conversation, asking questions. Well, how did you handle it? This and that, okay? Hey, Rashad Smith, he said, the problem is everyone think they can be like Mike, be like Sunshine Shoulders, but there's one cow. The fact that they go out their way not to acknowledge you means you live rent free in their heads. Well, I don't know about that. I don't take it personal. He asked me a question and I answered it. None of them ever reach out to me. None of the other big bloggers here ever reach out to me. And that's okay. I do have friends here that are bloggers. And I collab with them when we see each other and everything. But when the big ones come in town, they just, they don't want to be bothered with me. He said, women in the US have money, but you still pay. Yeah, but it's really not about paying. Okay. It's about the problems that you're going to have. Okay, it may be okay, like when you date a woman in the United States or anywhere and you take her out to eat. You're not taking her out to eat every day. I mean, she's not moving in with you because if she moves in with you, then it becomes something different. These are people who study this stuff. There's a reason people get divorced. It's usually money, sex, and a third party. There's other things. These are the top three things. So you're going in there with one strike. So now it's the other things, and then the other things behind that. You're not compatible. Cultural differences. But for some reason, man, we're so desperate, we're so lonely that we think that we can go against the grain. There's a reason why you have more than one girlfriend over here in Southeast Asia, man. If it was as easy and as people make it out to be, we'd meet one person and that'd be it. Shieldman says if you can adapt and learn to embrace the culture differences, you'll find that the Philippines is paradise. Hey, Area 51. He said, I just want me a humble woman. Yeah, well, you're going to find that. Who is appreciative of what I do, even if it is the bare minimum. Yeah. So why is it that we don't like broke women in our country? What is it about that? He said, being retired, I find it difficult to find financially stable women. Yeah, maybe it's just our options, that you have, because there's plenty over there in America. I mean, you talk about really the land of opportunity as far as jobs and everything like that. It's very few places where you can literally go from the bottom to the top. Okay. But America, you can. You can have nothing one day and be on top of the world literally the next day if you're going to put in the work and all that. It's women over there who are financially stable. It's women over here who are financially stable. But we date and marry the broke women. And there's problems that go along with that, guys. It doesn't matter if you're okay with it. I'm just telling you the problems that go along with it. Not just me, the experts say it. They say when you're dealing with somebody who has no money or has money problems, it's going to make your life more complicated. So why are we pushing back on it? Why are you saying, oh, I don't care? It doesn't matter that you don't care. When you get involved with the women or men who are broke, there's going to come problems with that. And after a while, you're going to have to make a decision. Is it worth the stress? Is it worth the complication and all of that comes along with it? Music to Michael Johnson, music emotions at Sunshine Shoulders. I had a problem recently with an expat, and all the shit you talk about is so true. You cannot trust expats, but the locals are so kind that they help me big time. Well, I didn't say how you couldn't trust the expats. I never said that. I said you're going to need expats. You want to move somewhere where, expats are going to be available to you, where you can vent and have somebody to talk to that understands your language. I never said you can't trust expats, but I'm glad that you were able to find a solution. What's up, 53 Shades Darker? He says if she was broke, hell no, but if she was a 10-10, maybe that's a potential loophole to own property. Yeah, like I said, even over here, we have to pay. We're going on 3 years in this house. We have to pay taxes on this property over here. If they don't, they'll take it. Okay? It's that simple. He said most traditional women come without money in Southeast Asia. But why don't we talk about it more, HTL? You're right, but why don't people talk about it? When I talk about it, people act like it's a big deal. When they think that that this is facts and you're supposed to be okay with it. But a lot of guys obviously aren't okay with it because these relationships aren't working out. He said, if you're with a Panay living in the Philippines, mostly there is no choice. The only choice is take her to America to make money. You have no choice if you want a girl and stay in the Philippines. Y'all missing the point, guys. Okay, let's move on because y'all missing the point. We're talking about the problems that come along with that. Okay, you do have a choice. You can say, okay, I don't want to live in, I don't want to marry her. I'll date her or whatever from time to time. And even then, you're going to have problems. Some of the problems I said, you're going to have less money for yourself. Okay, you retired, you earned that money. It's your money. Okay, because if you run out, it's your ass. So that's something you have to, come to grips with. Am I willing to give away half of my money? Because basically that's what you're doing. Okay. Now, because, one thing that we seem to be worried about over here, are concerned about, is whether or not the woman really loves us. What's love got to do with it? But we're concerned about that. Well, how would you know if you're paying for everything day in and day out? How are you going to really know? You're not. Okay, it's going to be hard for you to know because they're going to stay there as long as the money's there. I was just talking about some stuff. You're going to unretire yourself. Retirement is a time to sit back, relax, chill. Hey, there's no demands, there's no schedules, there's no nothing. But now it's going to be when everything rides on you. If you don't do it, it don't get done. I don't call that retirement. I don't call that retirement. Hey, Kesman Flowers, he said, broke women get in where they fit in for survival. First law of nature, people, plus women cost money no matter how much she earns. And all this is true. But that's not even what I'm talking about, Kesman. Thanks for that super chat. Let's move on, okay? Because we're going to give the Philippines its flowers today. Okay? I just wanted y'all to know one more time that there's problems dating broke women. It doesn't matter whether you accept it. It doesn't matter that women all over the world cost something. Okay? There's problems that come along with that in the long run. In the short run, you're not going to have a problem. Okay? But after a while, you're going to start looking sideways. Like, damn, I got to pay for everything. I don't have any money for myself. And this, all the other stuff that comes along with that. That's all I was saying. That's the truth. Okay? No matter how you look at it. But I love the warm weather and the beaches here in the Philippines, really. And of course, the women. But there's not many countries, this is what I put down here, that check as many boxes as the Philippines. And there's still so much more to explore. You only scratch the surface of this place. Remember, I told you I've been to. I added it up now actually because I went to Lackawanna Island, which I didn't count that. I actually have been to 12 islands here, but there's 2,000. excuse me, but there's 2,000. So if I get bored, I can circle back around to those 12, or I can spread my wings and go outside of that. I still haven't been to Palawan yet. I still haven't went to Puerto Galera and all the other, tourist places that are over here. There's just so much to do, so much to see. You really only can get bored if you uh, choose to be bored. He says, remember this, when you date a lady here who's not working, her family isn't either. Unlike the West, where most have jobs, so everyone will expect you to satisfy all monetary issues, except that are not. Yeah, that's like one of the problems. It's all going right on your shoulders, and after a while, it gets heavy, man. After a while, it gets heavy. Villa is Bogkug says it's like taking on problems you don't need in retirement. That's what I'm talking about. But in the beginning, you say, oh, it's okay. I don't care. I can handle it. Most of these bloggers that you see on YouTube, they haven't been over here long, only since the Philippines opened up, guys. That's their history. They're in the honeymoon period. Most of them, the majority of them. And then the other ones don't live here. They just come back and forth. I come and then, for a few times, and I'm going to make a vlog about the Philippines because, everybody's watching the Philippines. But the majority of these guys, man, I can name you 10 of them. They just got here. When I look at their videos, everybody has a perspective, but they don't let you know, okay, this is my perspective. I always tell you I've been over here on and off for 15 years. Who else tells you that? They don't tell you how long they've been over here because they're afraid that if they say, oh, I've been coming to the Philippines since it opened for 2 years, you're going to be looking at them like, oh, well, how are you such a damn expert? But in fact, they can give you advice. They can give you suggestions because the man who's been here 2 days can help the man who's never been here. But my point is, they're never going to tell you that, guys. They're on the honeymoon period. They haven't fallen off the cliff yet. The stuff that they talk about, they haven't experienced for real. It's just, the same topics going around and around. Scams and all that, man. If you haven't been scammed, how can you talk about scams? Y'all see what I'm saying? He said, LOL, definitely you will look at her and think lazy ass. Sperl never said, you're so right about them coming with some problems. Short time after I got off the plane, her father had a medical emergency and he's restricted to a wheelchair right now. I had to help out. Yeah, it's just something that now, if that keeps happening and you're the one who's happy, which you are going to be the one, at some point you're going to come at a crossroads and you're going to be like, man, did I retire for this? I thought I was retired. What's up, Emmanuel Jones? Fire Blazer said, old dog was a guest of the crew. Crew talked about running out of money when his girl's father brought over his new girlfriend and her 2 kids and kept eating for free. Yeah, it's all going to come on your shoulders. I was just discussing the things that's going to happen to you. I didn't say if it was right or wrong. And that's what y'all trying to make it out of a whole different conversation. He says, never let spoken be you determining factor for anything. What are you talking about? Never let the unspoken agreement? Yeah, he says $5,000 haven't been named yet. Right. He says a woman who has had to survive on a minimum amount of money is going to be desperate to take advantage if she suddenly get access to you with your money attached. Can't blame them if you're a sucker. He said finding a loyal woman that has your back is harder than finding a broke woman. He said, house clean, home cooked meals, great loving, lesser headaches and arguments. A peace of mind goes a long way. If I can't get that, I might as well stay in America. You're going to get all of that. And it's going to be so great in the beginning. But like anything else, it's going to get old. Okay? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying you can handle it and you can't handle it. I was telling you the problems that come along with it. Now, if you can handle it, if you got unlimited amounts of money and you don't have a problem with it, oh, it's a trade-off and all that, then good. Don't, but at least give me credit for bringing up the conversation. That's all. How many other videos do you see on there where it says, here's what you're going to run into dealing with broke women? Look on your feed right now. It's always the same stuff. It's always about the woman and how great she is and how loyal she is, how beautiful she is, and all of that, right? It never talks about you and what you're going to experience over here. I talk about real life stuff that's going to be relevant to you. Things that I'm going through. I'm giving y'all my life and really what I'm, dealing with. Y'all take it and go somewhere else with it. He said, Cal, first and foremost, if a woman is broke, then she has no say or buying power with my earnings. No weight on your shoulders, brother. Just say no, can't pay for piano lessons or private. Yes, because you can't say no to the rent. You can't say no to the food. You can't say no to the electric bills. Okay? And you're not just going to sit at home and do nothing. Okay? Like I said, never let women be your determining factor, but it is. Let's keep going, guys, because y'all missed the point totally. He says, think about it, a broke Sherry or a broke young, beautiful Moraine. Either one, they're going to cause you problems. Okay? Either one, HTO. He said, when you support a family, it's a big family. Ordinarily, so it's a huge relief when you get some of them to the States to help out financially. Hey, what's up, Don? Okay, I feel like I'm on vacation every day here, really. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because of every time I look out the window and I see these palm trees, these coconut trees, that does it for me. I know I'm in a tropical paradise, really. Remember, paradise is in the eyes of the beholder. People say, well, how can you say the Philippines is paradise? Easily. Because I said it is. Okay? But it just gives me that vacation. The sun's always shining. You're always somewhere near the water. And see, I equate that to being on vacation. Because I'm from the Midwest over in America. And, we had the Ohio River, but there was nothing romantic about that. There was no white sand beaches or anything associated with that. It's brown now. It's really ugly. He says, 53 shades darker. He says, when we make that commitment, you better be ready to pay out your ass. It seems fun and looks good until you see how fast them totals add up and the money goes on everything but you. It happens. He says, I have no interest in starting a blog, been here full time for 3 years. Yes, it's not for everybody. Some people start blogs just so they'll have a history of their time here or abroad or wherever they are. Okay, having a vlog is it's not hard, but getting monetized and getting some traction and getting a following is very hard. A lot of it has to do with being in the right place at the right time, the content, who you are, and everything. But for me, it was basically timing. He said, I guess you were talking about personal experiences. I'm saying that as every man over here, when you date a broken woman, when you date a broke woman, these are just a few of the things. You know, there's pros and cons to that. I was just talking about the cons of it because we are in the most vlogs that you see about the Philippines, they're on the honeymoon period, you know, so they're going to romanticize everything. And, you know, you're going to be okay with it until, you know, you fall off the cliff until the dust settles and you're saying, wow, man, you know, you're living from paycheck to paycheck. If you got unlimited amount of money, what difference does it make? Okay. But it comes with problems. Come on, man. I'm not complaining, dude. Try paying child support for 18 years. Dude, I'm paying child support no matter what because I'm going to take care of my children. I'm not complaining. I'm having a conversation. You guys don't know how to have a conversation. You always got to argue and debate. We're just talking about we're just talking about that. Since nobody else talks about it. I ain't fucking complaining. Okay, let's go to the. See, this is why you can't help Western guys because you won't listen. You know, you can't choose your audience. It's like, well, I don't care. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if you care or not. There's somebody watching this right now, if they be honest, which I just try to be honest, they would tell you, you know, Spurley ever just said it. It comes with problems, man. You know, you guys are just spending little bitty stuff. Let's go to the beach, let's go to the resort. You're not even here all the time. You haven't been here before. I'm trying to get you into a mindset where you start thinking about something else than what you're thinking about in this place. I'm just bringing up subjects that nobody else talks about. What is the truth about dating broke women? Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, they have traditional values. Yeah, they're loyal and all that, but they're broke. Okay. And there's going to come problems with that for you, whether you realize it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether it's cheaper here than over where you are. Okay. It's still going to be the same stress. Okay. Still going to be like wearing that 100-pound backpack on. Okay. When you're carrying somebody from day one. And the longer you do it, the heavier the load. Carry 100 pounds and see what happens. Pretty soon you're going to want to put that thing down. But you can't put it down. Who's ever worked somewhere where you have to carry something real heavy? And you're like, man, I can't wait to get to the location so we can put this damn thing down. It starts getting stressful in your head. You're like, man, I gotta let this thing. Imagine you have to walk around like that for however long, years. Some people do it for the rest of their life. I didn't retire for that. You got to come up with some solutions other than just accepting it. Hey, confident voice speaks. Thanks for that super chat. He said, we got to remember that the job market is way more competitive in the Philippines than it is in the West. Job qualifications, they are weird and the expectations are too high. Be smart. Puck Daddy said, truth, walk around with that 100-pound pack and watching your budget slowly run out. If you have unlimited budget, go to Switzerland or somewhere like that. Hey, David, Uncle, my name is Calvin. I just came home drunk from drinking beers. I'm still locked on from Trinidad and Tobago. or is it Tobago? He says, after the honeymoon's over, then you come back to reality. No, you can still stay here, and but you're gonna have to make a decision. Okay, see, remember, a broke woman will work. A broke woman will still got dreams. You may be able to help her to start a business or something. Okay, but I don't care who you are. Even if you're a woman watching this and you date a broke man, there's going to come problems with that at some point. It's going to be some problems. And I was just trying to discuss some, okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's see what we got here. Kai says, but they come with a lot of problems that you expected to solve. Yeah, but people don't look at that. Everything's romanticized. People can't wait to get over here, but they don't know what they're really walking into. I try to give them something, some facts before, a little bit more facts before they get here, so you can make a more, uh, you know, informed choice. If you think it's all going to be sunshine and roses, it's not. He says it's part of the unspoken agreement you think about and you don't like it, but it's worth it and you're willing to accept it. He said the Philippines, let's see, it's great. I was down there in 2015. Money goes along with eating steaks every day. Yeah, let's talk about some of this stuff. Um, See, retirement for me, remember I was talking about it feels like I'm on vacation all the time. Isn't that what retirement is? A vacation from the rat race and the hamster wheel. Well, I don't want to jump from the frying pan to the fire. So in the Philippines, man, you do get that vacation feel. I don't care where I go. If I get on the bus right today and I go down to Dumaguete and I get off the bus, it feels like it's my first time in Dumaguete. I don't know why. Because like I said, you got the breeze coming off the ocean. You see the ocean there, the palm trees swaying, the sun shining. That's the Philippines for you, man. That's why people keep coming here. Despite all the other stuff that they talk about, they keep coming back. It's like being free over here. Um, as long as I stay in my lane, I got to taste the true freedom over here. People don't bother you over here. This doesn't get covered enough either. You can have true freedom in the Philippines. People don't know you, first of all. So nobody's going to come knocking on your door, at 9 o'clock at night. Hey, my car ran out of gas. Can you take me to work? Lend me $50 until Friday. You really have a true freedom over here. And we don't really talk about that enough. All we talk about in the Philippines and Southeast Asia is the women. Excuse me. And it's really crazy when I look at these bloggers and all they talk about is women. It's like that's not the prize for coming overseas. That goes along with it, but it's not the only thing that we should be coming over here for. He said, greetings, Cal and crew. If she's broke, then double your budget. For retirees on a fixed budget, your expenses will eventually outpace your income if you're not good with money, okay? And that's going to create stress. It's going to make your life more complicated. So when we have this conversation, you can think now like, oh man, I never thought about that. What am I going to do? Do I have to bring more money with me? Do I have to spend less? Because that's one of the pros that I didn't mention. Because I was going to do the pros, but people always forget the cons if you do the pros. But today I'm giving the Philippines its flowers, guys. I am. But he's right. what's going to happen? It's going to force you to manage your money a whole lot better than what you would if you were by yourself. It's going to force you to take a second look at your finances, and you're going to start making decisions and buying things that are important. Like Tita Chai said earlier, there's no piano lessons. I'm sorry. I don't have money to spend on that. Let's spend it on rent. Let's spend it on food and all the things that are important. It's going to make you do that if you're smart. How many guys do you have to see leave the Philippines broke to realize what the problem was? They didn't come. Very few guys that I've seen, zero actually, have went home broke from the Philippines who were single. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Very few, zero, have run out of money over here because they were single. There's always a woman involved. So if y'all don't want to talk about it, it's fine. Twin Lucky says, I've been supporting my family and girlfriends and kids and nieces for 20 years, paid for thousands of dinners and gifts, so many things, paid for me and friends. I 100% understand the pressure. No one can debate it. It's hard. Thank you. You know, this is just somebody being honest. It is hard. And, you know, you make the decision to do it. I just want to tell you how hard it is before you make the decision. Because you're going to make the decision when she's sitting there in the airport looking beautiful, looking flawless. You've never seen anything like it in your life. You make the decision there, right? But that's not the reason to make the decision. Yeah. See, we're thinking on the same thing. Say, like you said, Cal, they come to the airport with all their belongings in a bag. But we already make the decision because we think it's going to be easier. Because remember, one of the things I love about the Philippines really is it is more affordable here. You can't build a house here, really. Okay, this house did not cost the engineer $1 million to build, guys. He's got to make a profit. I want you to think about that for one moment. Okay, if I paid $1 million for it, how much did it really cost to build this house? Even if it costs $1 million, you can't do that where you're from. There's no sense in lying about that and then be done with it. But the fact was, it didn't cost $1 million. Honestly, I believe he built this house for about $600,000, including labor and materials and everything, because he's got to make a profit. So yeah, it's a whole lot more affordable over here. But we don't even think like that. We think, oh, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to rent. Okay, because they got $200 rent. Because I'm not going to be here long. I can't own the land. It's all the negative stuff, not realizing that, dude, you can come over here and build a house from 10 to 15,000 and be done with it. And it's going to pay for itself in 2 to 3 years. You've already got your investment back. Then you can sell it if you want to. Hey, Moments with Miss, thanks for that super chat. He said the number one mistake people make in retirement is overspending in the first 5 years, which kills the compounding opportunity on the money. Slow down. Wow. Okay. Now, this is coming from a financial advisor, guys. But this is exactly what we don't do. This is the thing I always tell guys, slow down, man, slow down, because we get over here and we start spending like crazy. We start spending like crazy. We don't even try to see if we're going to be able to stay over here. We really like the place. We come over here, we start buying cars, okay, which is a big mistake. And some of these guys over here who bought these big cars, they can't sell them, or they buy them and they can't pay for them. So all the money they put as a down payment is gone. They never get that back. But we make these big decisions the minute we get over here, the minute we hit the ground, getting married and all that stuff. Slow down a little bit, because he's right. We do spend like crazy because everything looks like a deal over here. He said, don't meet no woman at the airport. That's the beginning of the end. But some guys, I put down here, I said, tenderoni. This is one good thing about the Philippines, okay? Tenderonis are a dime a dozen. Literally. It says, I don't advise making women the focus, but I understand. Okay, it doesn't matter what I say, Frank, what you say, what anybody says. Okay, when guys are seeing what's available over here, they're going to go for it. They're going to rush in. There's nothing I can do. I understand that, though. But it doesn't matter what I say, man. When they see these women over here, the way they look, and, they're willing. They're saying, okay, if you do this, I'm going to do this. Or they don't even say it. It's called the unspoken agreement because if we said it out loud, it would sound cringy, wouldn't it? That's why it's unspoken. A woman's never going to say, look, okay, if you pay all my bills, I'm going to suck your dick every day. Okay, or I'm going to give you a massage every day. I'm going to wash your clothes. I'm going to clean up. They're never going to say that, and neither are you. You're not going to say, hey, look, lady, I want to pay all your bills, but you got to do this and that. So it's unspoken. He says stress and tropical heat will cause serious health complications. So you might learn this lesson too late. These lessons too late. I want to do something about food. I eliminated fried foods, man. It's really changed my life. And it wasn't hard to do for real. Because everything over here, just by default, they fried. And I was like, I'm tired of fried food. I promise you, you can ask Maryland. I very seldom eat fried food. I may eat fried fish once a month. That's the only fried food I eat that I'm, cognizant of. Of course, if I go out to a restaurant, but for the most part, I've given up fried foods over here. Like Maryland made some just unbelievable fish soup yesterday. I never ate fish soup until I came to the Philippines. It didn't even sound appetizing to me. But when we were in Siquijor Island one time, she made it without even, thinking about it because it's something that they do with all the fresh vegetables. And then she had the bangus or the milk fish, and she had cut it up. And what I do is I take the fish out of the soup and put it on a separate plate. Oh man, it's delicious. I never even thought to eat that over in America. But when I went to Thailand, Mr. Lee ordered some spicy fish soup. I've been hooked ever since. But I got rid of fried foods basically, man. I mean, really. Sperling Edwards said, and see, he's living over here. He's been over here for over a year now, right? He said, Twin Lucky is right. How about them birthdays with their large families? It sounds good at the beginning. I can handle it. You feel good about it. I'm the man of the house and everything. But after a while, people showing up, hey, let me borrow this, let me borrow that, It just gets to the point where you have to do this. You have to say, I don't care. Just like a lot of you guys are saying. That's how to handle it. Because I didn't get into that, which I should have. What's the solution? The solution is don't get into that situation if you can't handle it. Okay, don't even get into it. But we rush in because we fools, man. We rushing in by the plane load over here without having any inkling of what you're entering into. But that's one way. Just don't get into it. Another way is just say, okay, I don't care. It's part of the agreement that I made. Okay, I shouldn't have bought my ass over here. Or you can start scaling back, really make a budget and say, look, we're not going to go over this. We're not paying for it. We're not loaning any money, and all of that. You can make some conditions on how to spend your money. He said, Mitch, I do 3.5% withdrawal and it works well for me. He says, research and error for now for October arrival. Any suggestions? Yeah, that's a good time to fly. Anytime from September, which summer's over with in America, to March, where summer begins over here, you're going to get some good prices on an airline. Okay, remember when I came over here December the 5th, my plane tickets for a round trip for 3 people was $1,800. And that's only because I bought our seats too. It was like $39 each on cheapo air. And this was pre-pandemic when tickets were just crazy low. I'm talking about this is in December, but I bought them in October like your bag. Okay. The further out you buy them, of course, the better price you're going to get if you're able to do that. According to my research, Thursday is the best time to depart on an international flight. But you can play with those dates, but when you're dealing with the Philippines, September to March, or you might as well say the end of February, because March is really the summer. So it's getting ready to be summer. It's already summer here, what they consider summer. He said Philippines got that latch. They do, man. That's a good thing about it. Like I said, tenderonis are a dime a dozen. I mean, you're gonna have access to women over here that you could only dream about before. And it's nothing for you to be ashamed about. But just know, that's why I try to give you the 360. Just know what's behind that. Don't just think that, oh, look at this beautiful woman and that's it. Okay? There's some stuff that goes along with that. Okay? Read the fine print in that unspoken agreement. Because it's gonna weigh heavy on you after a while. And in the beginning, it feels good. He says, I use Delta for $11.49. Now, Delta, I was reading, they've ramped it up. They've gotten better. They've improved. Now they're like almost at the top. I know of domestic airlines anyhow. They've added more entertainment. The food supposedly is better. This is an article I was reading. Now, if I'm coming to, this is a suggestion I received and I took it. The guy says, look, if you're going to Asia, why don't you just book an Asian airline, since they're, used to coming over here. And it's right. I haven't used, I used United. We used United in 2015, and that's it. That's the last time. And I certainly won't use United. But now that they've got the direct flight, it'll be different. Because when we flew from Chicago to Hawaii, then to Guam, then to the Philippines. We paid for our food all the way till we got to Guam. He said, first like you because you're the only one who spoke about forming an expat crew. Sorry, forgot your exact words. I imagine the center club for us to help each other and talk any updates on it. Yeah, a guy wrote me a business plan. I mean, it's a great little basic business plan, and I'm just wanting people who are interested, who are already over here, or we could have a Zoom call to try to move that forward. How would we even come up with funds? How would it work? How much would we need? But he wrote, I got the business plan already, downloaded on this phone, as a matter of fact. It's a great idea. I mean, they got them for people in the service. What do they call it? Where usually when we went to a stop, wherever we went, it wasn't VOA, was it? But why not have an expat service center where you can come and shoot pool, drink coffee, sit around and shoot the shit with people? You know, maybe we could do it like something like Patreon, a membership where people pay a certain amount of money every month. I think it's certainly doable. He said you should always speak to a financial advisor before you retire. Money well spent. Hell, before you retire. Yeah, is that what he's saying? Yeah, before you retire. Yeah, way before you retire. Not like, oh, I'm retiring next month. Let me go holler at Mitch. Unless you're gonna move your 401k or something like that. AC King says it was rural Southern country living. It was tough, but I'm a better person because of it. I appreciate what I have now. He said deal. He said bills for a stop. Yeah. But y'all know what I'm saying, you know, but you're never going to say that out loud. That's why it's unspoken, because it would sound cringy. You know, I get to fuck you every night, but I'm going to pay all the bills, you know, and all that, you know. Hey, AN, he says, good evening, Sunshine Shows community. Much love from Seattle, Washington. Much love, brother. He said, I like the idea of an expat service center. It would do good. You know, he's already give me the business plan. You know, there's people over here that could really help get that moving, man. You know, I think it's something, even if we just started out in a little small building where we're renting it every month, you know, like, you know, $500 or $600 a month. You have a couple of coffee makers in there, you know, maybe a big screen television, you know, with Wi-Fi, cable, you know, even have a immigration officer on call, because you could do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of those people who work at these immigration service centers, they want to earn some extra money. We'll pay them to give information, of course, you know, help people, point people in the right direction. I mean, imagine if you could come flying into Cebu, go to your hotel, take a shower, everything, and then go to an expat service center. Hey, man, where can I get something good to eat, or you know, whatever it is, just to talk, because they got a social club in Ayala Mall, but I don't know if that's going far enough. Hey, Corey Moore said, what's good, big bro? Calvin would like to discuss more on that video about broke Filipino women and dating. Yeah, well, what you want to know is it's not just Filipino women. We're talking about women in Southeast Asia. You know, we're flocking over here, guys, and women are the reason. And, you know, we talk about all the great qualities about these women, and that's true. But they conveniently leave out that one thing that you're supposed to know and you're supposed to be okay with it. They're broke. So all I did was, hey, there's some problems that come along with that. So to give you more informed, so you can make a more informed choice. Do I, you know, is it worth going into it? There's no right or wrong, but you want to know, because everything sounds so good. Like I said, you're going to be on the honeymoon period for a long, long time with Filipino women anyway. If you just meet, we don't get lucky, guys. We get unlucky. So most of us meet good women, and you're going to be on the honeymoon period for a long, long time. But put this in your memory bank. There's never been one single guy who ever went home broke from the Philippines. It's usually somebody, he's got a woman beside him. And there's a reason for that. It costs you double now to live in the Philippines than it did before. When you were on that plane, the cost of living was a certain amount. But the minute you get involved with a woman, it doubles. And now you're going to be stressed because money issues are a deal breaker. Less money means more stress, especially if you're 8,000 miles overseas. Doesn't that make sense? If now you're having a problem making ends meet, because how many times have you heard people say, well, I thought the Philippines was supposed to be cheap. It's cheap or cheaper. But it seems like I'm spending just as much money over here as I was at home because you're dating a broke woman and you're taking care of her, maybe her kids, maybe her family, whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but now you know why. You're living from pension check to pension check. Oh yeah, the USO. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Ricky. Yeah, for service members. I think we ought to have one for us. It wouldn't be no riffraff. It wouldn't be no bullshit. Because we'd have a real security there. Not just somebody walking around carrying a rusted pistol like a lot of these guys over here getting a paycheck. Now, we'd have real security. You act up, you're going to get your shit, you're going to get thrown out of there. It's all about support. It's all about camaraderie, community. We're not going to have that foolishness. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, man. Did y'all see what happened over there in Russia? I got to thinking, could something like that happen over in the Philippines? And, I thought to myself, because ISIS is over here too. And remember the guy asked me, he said, aren't I worried about China coming, and the problems it's causing the Philippines? I said, no, I'm not worried about China. I'm worried about the United States. And once the United States gets all of these military bases in here and up and running again, I think, just my humble opinion, man, I hope I'm wrong. I think that they're going to be a target because they wanted the United States out of here a long time ago and they got them out of here. And for them to come back and, get rooted again and all of that, because I was reading an article today they were talking about, the United States is talking about we're here because it'll be a faster response to natural disasters and stuff like that, right? Of course, they're going to use the humanitarian point of view, but I think that would be the time they're going to strike, man. I guarantee you that. I hope I'm wrong, but I was thinking about that. He said, maybe exactly. He said, maybe exactly pay per month as a member, probably simplest. I would love to look into investing as I plan to retire there and invest into the tiny homes. Yeah, we wouldn't even have to invest. If we could get enough people to commit to, $5 a month or whatever. If you get 1,000 people, that's 5,000 a month. We'd get it set up like you would any other thing. You'd have treasurers, you'd have, everybody couldn't access the money and you have to have, because see, I used to, when I was in AA, and this is all I said, we had a treasurer and we had a bank account, but it had to take 3 signatures to get that money out of there for anything, coffee, creamer, whatever it was. And it would be something like that, He said, I would still love to see a version of the Green Book for expats in the Philippines to tell us where to eat, stay, and how to navigate. I'd buy one. Yes, it's just so spread out, though, man. I mean, that would be a big ass book. But I think if you narrowed it down to like Western foods or something like that, with the restaurants, Okay. But I think we basically have that AC King, but we just do it by word of mouth. Like if you say, hey, that would be easy. That information would be so easy to come up with. It would be almost redundant to put it in a book. There really would be no need for it. And remember, people don't buy books. We don't read. So if somebody says, hey, Cal, I'm coming to the Philippines, I'm going to be in Manila, what's a good place? And I would tell them, hey, if you're just going to stay in Manila, go here, go there, eat here, eat there. It's so much easier to do it like that. And because people aren't going to buy the book. And you can do it now with Google, hell. That's just, what it is. He said, I don't think guys realize how many damn pieces are walking around the Philippines. That's why I don't believe in meeting no woman at the airport. Stay single for at least a year. Yeah, but the problem with, I'm going to be honest with you, man, meeting women in the Philippines on the street, it's really not as easy as people make it out to be, especially the young ones. You don't know if you're intruding on somebody or not. Not that it's hard, okay? But it's not as easy as we think it is. But the younger that you are, the more likely you can do that. The more likely you're going to get attention from women because they're just like anybody else. They want something good they can look at. But older guys, man, it's cringy to them for real. These young women in the IT park and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll stop and give you an interview. Oh, do you prefer Philippines or foreign men? How much do you consider rich and all that? Yeah, but when you go talking about getting a date and all of that, it's a different story. Now, if you're young, like the dude that got killed in the waterfront, you're gonna draw attention like that. But most of us that come over here, man, women ain't looking at us like that. I said that earlier. Now, I see that a lot of people are in agreement about, young guys, man, are in more of a risk over here, man, really, because they like, they're young. They got that bravado in them. I did a video for my Patreon where I was talking about that. They see you pose a threat. They look at you as competition. Imagine you come over here, you're 35 years old, you got big money, you got all the fancy clothes and jewelry and everything, the gadgets, and you got some conversation and some persuasion. And you're halfway good looking. You're well, you cut your hair neat and everything like that. You're personable. You're going to meet a woman on the street. But a 65-year-old man with a gut, and with his pants inside his socks, with some big ass flip flops on, you're not gonna meet anybody over here like that. And that's who's showing up over here. They said, I heard the Republicans are trying to raise the retirement age. That won't get it. Yeah, Lapu Lapu has a group of brothers called Brothers in the Philippines. And it's a good group. I talked about this the other day. I was invited. They meet every Sunday, the first Sunday, of every month. I'm just talking about something a little bit bigger though, Mike. And they meet at different places, but it's usually a restaurant over there that they meet. But I'm talking about something a lot more inclusive. Okay. But yeah, that's a good group. Hey, one macho Guerrero. He said, thank you for your great advice and wisdom. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm just giving you my boots on the ground experience. That's all it is. I'm no smarter than anybody else, but hell, I've been over 15 years. That means something to me, whether people think it does or not. It means a lot, man. I've seen a lot over here. Am I an expert? No. But I know a whole lot more than somebody who hasn't been over here before. And I've got information that can help you. Is all of it relevant to you? Probably not. But I just bring up conversations that a lot of other people don't bring up. They think it's not important. It is. Okay. Um, Another thing I really like about the Philippines, anybody that's on the fence, think about coming here, you're getting all this information, good and bad. We're going to talk about the good today. Foreigners are respected here. Okay. And it's just a feeling that you get, man. Once you off the plane, within an hour, you're going to know, man, people are really nice. You know, they really do welcome you here for real. And it's authentic. You don't even have to be here long and you get that feeling. Big Papa Travel said, but you need to know if you're going to be a business, it has to be Pinot ownership 60%. Yeah, but that's something that we would have to discuss. What would that be? Would that be a business? Or would it be a club or something? I mean, it wouldn't be a business because we wouldn't be selling anything but membership. So, yeah, I don't know. But I don't think that would be a problem because it's not really any profits or anything involved. But that's a good question. Yeah, we'd have to, like I said, we'd get a lawyer and find out what would it be designated as. I mean, couldn't we just meet? Could not rent a place and then we meet there? Do you think? Well, I know what would happen. One of these trolls, somebody outside the Philippines would alert the authorities. Hey, they're having meetings over there. Is that a business or not? That's coming. That's why we have to dot all our I's and cross all our T's. You know, people are sick, man. They don't have anything better to do than to cause you problems. That's coming because the Philippines really doesn't care. They like the business you're giving them. But yeah, we'll do all that research and everything like that. Yeah, it's a good group. I don't know who thought of it. Moments and Mitch said the culture is much more intense there than Western people are used to. It's a vibrant culture. You know, one thing, another thing we don't talk enough about is, the Philippines allows me to stretch my legs, man, and spread my wings over here. Look at the immigration policy. They give you an opportunity to see if you like it or not. Imagine a tourist can stay over here for 3 years. If you can't figure out something in 3 years, then hell, you need to go somewhere else, or you're never going to figure it out. See, there's nothing every 30 or 60 days I got to worry about what I got to do. I got to jump through hoops and stuff like that. All I got to do is pay my extension fees and keep it moving. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, okay? Because a lot of these places, you got to get retirement visas. You got to do something to stay in country. All you have to do here is just pay your immigration fees. For 3 years, that's a long time, man. I mean, you can create a whole new life in 3 years. And then leave for one day and come back and start all over again. People say, oh, they're going to stop you at the immigration. They didn't stop me. They stopped me, but it wasn't for that. And they're going to ask you and put pressure on you about getting an SRV. They're not going to do that. Why would they do that? Some man's been over 22 years. He said, Calvin, it's never happened. But this is what people would tell you. Do you know how many people are going to be behind you? You think they're going to sit there and hold up that line questioning you? No, if it's that serious like they did me, step out of line, sir. We need to talk to you. That's what they did to me. But that's not the problem. Hey, confident voice speaks. Let me read this on the bigger thing. Wait. He says, Calvin, what about the story about feeding the entire barangay? I think that story alone speaks so much volume of the foreigner getting their money drained. Have terms, guys. Yeah, see, you agreeing to do certain things that you have no idea about. Okay, I was in a far off uh, barangay in northern Mindanao. It was a barangay of Bislik City, which I know now. I didn't know then. Called Lewegan. It's a very beautiful place. I was down there to have you know, an engagement party with this young lady. Well, I'm just thinking it's just going to be the family, a few friends. No, I had to feed the whole barangay. I had no idea. Okay, I gave her money to go to the store, and she just kept buying stuff. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? She invited everybody without telling me. And I end up spending, and this is 2009, about 20,000 pesos. It's a lot of damn money. Money I didn't have any plans on spending. But this will happen to you over here when you're dating broke women. It never happened to me again, by the way, because I put it up front what I'm doing. I made sure I knew what was going on. That's what he's talking about. Have some terms. I fed basically the whole barangay. Then a guy shows up to add insult to injury. He shows up with a big tin of ice cream. I didn't even know who he was. I never saw him before. I had to buy that. You think I'm going to say no way down there? Well, hell, they didn't, at that time, the Philippines had 2G technology. There's no television signal. They could have killed me and buried me and nobody would have ever found me because I flew into Butuan City. That's where they swiped me, and knew where I was. Now I'm 8 to 10 hours away. They don't do that on the bus. You just get on the bus, pay your fare, and that's it. But it's a whole lot that goes in to dealing with women who are broke that we never even consider because we think, the Philippines are so cheap. It's cheaper to take care of a woman over here than over there, you say. But you don't have unlimited funds. You come over here because it's more affordable. But the minute you enter into one of these agreements, now it doesn't become so affordable. It doesn't become so cheap. He said, I love ice cream. By the time I would have been happy to see the ice cream man. Yeah, 20,000. That was a lot. It's a lot now, but it was a lot then, man. I mean, it's the same woman I end up spending 28,000 for a ring. I mean, it happens, guys. I tell y'all this stuff. I share my stories with y'all to let you know it's real and it can happen to the best of us. They will have you sprung over here. I had no idea. I never seen a woman like that before. Actually, her braids wasn't like this. They were like this. They went back. Because I seen a young girl at the gym the other day, and it brought back memories of that. When I came to the airport, she's waiting out there. Just have a little bitty sack with her. Almost looked like a purse, like. And that was everything she had. But boy, did she look good, man. And I would agree to anything. I would agree to any damn thing at that moment. Hey, who is this? Oh, Cos, thanks for that super chat. He said, pro tip, if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, get what are you saying, a fiber SIM card? It allows you to have 15 eSIMs on one phone. Wow. Smart and Gold both offer prepaid eSIMs now. It's a game changer. Yeah, and it is the first time I've heard of this, man. Thanks for this. Wow, that's a big deal right there. Because I've got a phone. My phone has 2 SIMs in it. What is an eSIM, by the way? He says R68DVR says at Cisco International, I fly private a lot for work. Is Starlux a private charter airline? Everybody's flying Starlux here lately. I never heard of it. Now all of a sudden, everybody's flying it. Friend of mine, he just went back to the States last month and he flew Starlux. But you know, one thing I really like about the Philippines, it's less stress than what I had over there. You know, you got the life stressors. Hell, when you got a 3-year-old daughter, that's just life stress. But I mean, it's just less stress, man. There's no demands. I have no schedule. I don't have anything to do today. Okay, now we will go to the grocery store because it's Sunday, but I don't have anything to do. When I get up in the morning, it's like, well, what am I going to do today? You're talking about real freedom, man. That's just something, man, that you can't put a price on. Hey, what's up, Angelo Habib? Thanks for that super sticker. He's here in the Philippines. You know, we're going to go somewhere after Holy Week in April. I just want to kind of show him around a little bit because he's been stuck down in Davao. And I just want to show him around and say, hey, man, you know, the Philippines is more than Davao. Because, you know, he's in one of those situations where, hell, his girl won't take him anywhere. Really. He said, are there horses anywhere in the Philippines? Absolutely. One of Marilyn's profile pictures was her horseback riding. It's somewhere around here. They've got some horses in Center Mall, but I don't think you can ride them. But yeah, they've got horses here that you can ride. Yeah, Maryland was on horseback ride. He said, yeah, electronic SIMs, he says, is not a physical SIM card. Oh, okay. He says, I imagine private charter is the way to go if the company is paying, though. Okay, he says it allows for multiple eSIMs. Yeah. Okay, phones with eSIM tech. Now is that standard on phones now? How old would your phone have to be? Or is that something you have to download? Is that bread still good? I think it's the 25th. Today is what? The 23rd? Right? Yeah, 23rd. Rory Bellamy says, what is that? Did you find and buy a taller frame bicycle? Actually, I'm getting ready to because I gave my bicycle to my nephew, you know, Merlin's nephew. He didn't have a bike. So I gave him a bicycle. And he was so happy because, believe it or not, see, I moved by the ether, man. In my mind, I said, you know, I'm going to give that bike to Psych. And you know what? About 2 or 3 days later, he came over here. He wanted to do some work so he could get enough money to buy a bike. He didn't know that me and Merlin had already decided to give him that bike. Okay. So it worked out great. Yeah, I'm gonna get a real one this time. I'm not gonna be cheap. I'm gonna pay, you know, about $300 for one. So I can take it up in the mountains. Bicycle riding is really, really popular here. I mean, you see the calves on these guys here. I mean, they go way, way up. You know, you could ride a bike, which maybe that's my next physical feat. It's a ride a bicycle from here to Bacala through those mountains. But I'm going to get me, before I do that, I'm going to get me what's that activity camera that everybody's got? I forgot. They cost like $500 or $600. I'm saving up for that right now. What is that called, guys? You know, Derek Q's got one on his helmet. And that's what I would do. I would get it mounted on my bicycle helmet because I'm going to go all the way. But I'm going to do it just in one day. I'm not going to, because it may take me, if it takes a car, what, an hour and a half, what's it going to take me? 8 hours maybe on a bike? because some of those hills, man, are really big. Then you got to come down. It's got to be a real good bike, but that's my next physical feat that I'm going to do. He said, girl won't take him anywhere. I laugh out loud. I can't believe these guys. Wow, where's the leadership? Well, he's just trying to be respectful, really. And I told him he's in Davao. He can go to Samal Island. He can go to General Santos. A lot of places he can go. And, Davao is a good place. Yeah, the GoPro. GoPro. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes I lose my train of thought. I can't remember this stuff. I'm 60, man, but I need that GoPro because it doesn't shake, or anything. It gives good quality video. He says, how long do you think it would take to ride a bike from St. Carlos City to Dumaguete? Let me see. It's 166 kilometers. You could do it in one day, I believe. Because I was walking 10 hours a day. I'm not really sure, but I think you could do that in one day on a bicycle because you're moving on that bicycle. But the point of going through the mountains is so beautiful, Frank. Dumaguete's just flat. And you have to be careful on that bike because whereas I was walking, I see a car, I could get over because it's a lot of those places, there wasn't much room. But that would have been beautiful to have a GoPro when I did that walk. Yes, a GoPro. I'm losing my man. But I think that's going to be the next physical thing that I do. Because y'all take it for granted, but that walk, man, it should have made news somewhere, man. That was a long ass walk. But see, here's the difference between Westerners. We take stuff like that for granted because people are doing stuff like that all the time. But don't you know over here, man, it's a big deal to people. Sometimes people stop me on the street that I don't know. I never even knew they knew me from a man in the moon. It's like, aren't you the guy that walked from St. Carlos City to Dumaguete? They blown away. They can't believe it. Filipinos walk a lot. They ride bikes and do everything like that. But to them, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. When I think back on it, I'm like, how did I do that? I would never do that again. I don't know what I was thinking. That was hard, man. One of the hardest things I've ever done. Clinton Dow said, even though I said I would never drive here, when I make this move to El Nido, I need to get a motorcycle. Yeah, I think you'll be a whole lot better off, though, in El Nido. I don't think the traffic is going to be anywhere near what it is in one of these main cities. I could probably, no, to be honest, as little as St. Carlos City is, as little traffic as it has here, I would not drive here, man, because people take more risk because there's not as many people on the road. It's actually more dangerous. When we were in Cebu, I showed Merlin, I said, you see, even though it's a lot, nobody's taking the chances y'all take in St. Carlos. Yeah, GoPro. He said it'd be good to have a bicycle that also has throttle paddle assist when you need it. Now, it'd be something to look at. I'd probably have to go to Bacolod or Cebu to get something like that. But these guys have real bikes here. They don't play. I'm talking about the real serious bikers. These bikes, man, are aerodynamic. You can tell they paid a lot of money for them. He said, I drove in Mindanao last weekend and I was over it. Maybe a scooter or a motorcycle might be better. Yeah, I don't think, I'm going to be honest with you, man. You couldn't pay me to drive here. Certainly not a motorcycle either. Now, Siquijor Island is a different animal. There's literally no traffic there for real. It's very little traffic, Siquijor. But people still have accidents. we were at a restaurant one time and they had an accident right in front of me because now as big as the road is, these are the only two people on the road, guys. Promise you, that's Maryland. And the guy tries to move over in front of the guy and he runs into him. Remember the accident in Sicky Hall we saw? It's like, what is going on, man? There's nobody on this other side of the road. They're just real close together. He said, when you thinking about doing this bike ride, probably before the summer's over with, once I get my bike, because see, that way it'll put me in a mindset to see, I'm started back in the gym. Now I took 3 days off because of my, I was sick, but I'm going today. It'll ramp up my working out. Because believe it or not, Marilyn wanted to walk with me to Dumagetti, but she was on a motorcycle and she'll tell you it's not easy. She wouldn't have made it. I had some, believe it or not, my buddy gave me, Steve, the one that did that walk for me, and I made fun of him. He gave me some memory pills and he had forgotten them, right? He's like, man, these memory pills really work, but he had forgotten them in the States. So when he went back to the States, he remembered and brought them back. Man, them things worked. I had Merlin hooked on them and her daughter. Now, I didn't always remember everything, but it had me sharp, man, and things worked. He said he got it from Joe Rogan. A lot of times they be selling that crap, but this stuff really worked. I wasn't forgetting anything, though. Little stuff that I should know, I knew it. Like the GoPro, I would have known it. He said, Calvin, you should write the company and tell them about yourself and your future plans. They would probably send you a camera to be a sponsor. That's a great idea. But we were talking about this the other day. Now, it would have to be the company over in America because over here, influencers, which I'm not technically an influencer, but they take influencers for granted here, man. The amount of money I brought to St. Carlos City. Okay, but during the pandemic, they were actually had signs on a lot of these hotels, influencers are not welcome. Because they thought influencers were just trying to get free rooms and accommodations. They have no idea the value of a real influencer like me. I got 50,000 people. I probably got 5,000 followers. If you don't think that I brought good business to that Mawani, anytime I'm in there, while I'm waiting, they'll bring me an appetizer for free. But they understand. Okay, but so a company over here, they may not understand it. I still have to pay for it because they don't really appreciate an influencer. Take somebody like Filipino P. Well, she doesn't do it a lot, but she could probably have her accommodations paid almost anywhere. Look at the followers she got. If she just said, hey, look, this is my channel. She got almost 300,000 followers, many of them Westerners. And she said, hey, let me stay here. I'm going to review it on my channel. Just give me a free room and breakfast or whatever. They probably wouldn't do it. But we were just talking about that the other day. Me and Kevin from Too Much Time on My Hands 65. Because him and Jenna Lynn, they go around, they review. And I was just asking them, do you ever get anything free or anything like that? No. Because over here they thought, that people were trying to cheat them, looking for a free ride. It's not. You get the right influencer, it can make all the difference in the world in your business. He said, what did you do at night when you walked from St. Carlos to Dumagetti? I assume you stayed in hotels. I did. I walked 10 hours a day, except for my last 2 days when Steve was with me and we pushed it to like 12 hours. I mean, he really pushed me, man. I had heel spurs. I was in bad shape because he wouldn't let me stop. He's like, man, we're going to finish. And we did. That last day, man, we walked 50 kilometers. That's about what, 30 something miles? That's a long way. We walked from Bais, which is, outside of Dumagetti, Bais, Bais City, to Dumagetti. We did not stop. That's a long way, man, to walk. And you got to throw in the 130. The heat index was 130. I drank so much of that. What did I drink? What was it called? Pocari Sweat that I can't stand the smell of it right now. It make me sick. But I drunk so much of that because that stuff is good. But uh, it's just, I drank so much, I can't even stand to look at it right now. What's up, Road to the Philippines? That's Danny. When you coming back, man? I know the last time you were on here, you counted down. You were saying, what was it, 78 days or something, 93 days or something? He said, what kind of postal system do you have linked between the United States and the Philippines? Do you know anyone who has used iPostal? I don't. It takes a while. But they know me, man. Whenever I get you can ask Merlin, she's sitting here. Whenever I get a piece of mail, they message me and tell me to come and get it. But it takes a while, man. It takes a while. It takes if somebody was to mail me something from the United States, just regular mail, it takes 2 months, Danny, here. But what I did was, my oldest daughter, I just use her address as my address at home. So all my mail comes there. If it's anything important, she'll screenshot it and send it to me on Messenger. But I always kept an address in the United States. But I don't know anybody. I get that I postal on all my videos, that promotion, but I don't know anybody's ever used it. I would say just get you somebody in your family or something. No, I'm not going to use no electric bike. That's funny. No, I wouldn't do that. He said, how can we send you a ballot band box? I'm pretty sure your wife or girlfriend knows where the local ballot buying place is. Just go over there. I'll contact them. You can either pick up a box or they'll bring the boxes to your house. You got to use their boxes. And then, just if Jeffrey Tatter, if Jacob Tanjay is still on here, put my email up and I'll give you my address. But excuse me, that's all you would have to do is have my address and get in contact with the ballot buying people, the shipper in your area. There's a shipper, 6 million Filipinos in America. They're everywhere over there. They're sending back ballot buying boxes. Just find the nearest one, the one nearest you. He said, I drive an SUV in Toledo City. Wow, you live right across the bay from me. And I've also driven in Manila. It's very hard. I prefer to ride my NMAX in Toledo. Yeah, it's easier to avoid these crazy tricycles. Yeah, I was getting ready to say, man, and right around that port area, it's like a bowl of spaghetti. I don't know how you would drive a big SUV around there. But you're right across the bay from me. We bought a piece of land over there, 85 square meters. I still haven't seen it. I've been there before, but I haven't physically seen it. Because that's where we're going to build the first. We still got the jar to that? We don't. The memory pills, we don't have the jar, do we? No, we threw it away. He said, what's the name of the memory pills? Yeah. He said, we messed up my memory back in the day. He said, dude, I have 3 GoPros. I can give you one. What are you over here? KKMD style? Hell, I'd buy it from you, man. Give me a good deal. He said, Cal, when are you going to do another walk like that? Well, my next thing is I'm going to ride this bike to Bacolod. I don't know how long it would take me because I see guys riding through those mountains, but some of those hills, man, I'm gonna have to be in tip-top shape more than when I walk to do Magnetti. But I'm gonna ride my bike. If you're on a, if you've ever driven from here to Bacala through Don Salvador Mountains, it usually takes, when we take a taxi, it usually takes about an hour and a half. So I figure it's probably going to take about 6 hours or something. Of course, I'll be stopping, but it's beautiful up there, man. I mean, you're so high up there that it looks like you're flying in some spots. He said the majority of people that follow her doesn't live in the Philippines. Yeah, but they come, you know, just like people come over here and visit me. They come. Imagine in Dumaguete, where she lives, if she did that, Mike. I mean, but they don't even think to do that. That's a way of giving back. I mean, even if they're not going to give you free accommodation, do it anyway to help the local economy. I mean, it's just a no-brainer to me about giving back and helping, but people don't even think about it. I mean, imagine this is your hometown. I mean, you're literally a star there. You got to use that to help somebody. He said, how is Steve K? I haven't heard from him. He said, how do they survive being broke? Well, being broke is not poor. Broke means they don't have a lot of money or not enough money. And they usually, over here anyway, because I was talking about Southeast Asia, but in the Philippines, you may have 3 or 4 generations staying in the same house. Remember, it's family values over here. You know, they're going to help each other. That's how. It's not like in America where people sit around and watch you starve to death to try to teach you a damn lesson. But now over here, they pool their resources, Robert. Yeah, they do. And they share their blessings. If somebody hits a lick, they share. That's why when you get a birthday party or something like that, they invite a lot of people. But that's how they survive. He said, that's a lot of walking, man. Sounds like you may have risked your health, man. Well, you know, I was in tip-top shape, and I may have, you know, I wasn't even thinking like that, man. I put it out there, so I had to do it because people are already saying, oh, you can't do it. He bit off more than he could chew. Well, that's all it took, you know, to light my fire. Because I had walked 80 miles from Louisville to Lexington before, and some guy said, yeah, I bet you got a ride halfway. You know, people aren't going to believe you. Because if they can't do anything, they don't think you can do it. He said, have you heard from Fred from Guam? No, but one of my subscribers was there last week, a week before, to do some doctor's appointments and stuff. And I gave him Fred's information. They hooked up. Fred took him around. Fred says he still watches. He just doesn't come forward anymore. I don't blame him, man. You know, people are stupid on this internet, man. Some people didn't, you know, sign up for that. You know, all it takes, if I brought somebody, look at Jenna Lynn, the innocent young lady this is another reason I really don't like interviewing people. But I didn't think that people would come after her, man. See some of the stupid comments. You know, I'm still going through getting rid of some of them, man. You know, it's like people don't sign up for that. That's why they don't want to have a YouTube channel or they don't want to be a guest on somebody's channel or something like that. They don't want to be interviewed, especially on a channel like mine. I promise you that's probably the reason why two expats traveling, you know, that black couple, I guarantee you that's the reason why they stopped. Because they had just got monetized. And the channel was really taking off. But then all of a sudden they shut it down. Because all it takes is for one fool to get on here And it was like, well, hell, we didn't retire for that. He said, you should do vlogs around the countries. Nowadays, African American men are leaving the USA and traveling through Africa. Yeah, but see, the problem is, man, I've got a family over here. You know, I'm not Austin Holloman. That's what he does. He does that. So they don't need me to do it. I'm staying in my lane. And I think it's important if you're going to have a YouTube channel. Remember, we was talking about this the other day. I'm here in the Philippines, okay? I'm telling you that this is a legitimate option for my viewers and subscribers. Now, people like him and others, they're able to freely travel around. I believe they're single, no kids or anything like that. So they go to these different countries and they give you the 411. That's not me. I'm just in the Philippines. Hey, I can barely go around the Philippines. Me and Merlin, we can't get away. You know, we got children, Booby especially. Oh wow, that's pretty good right there. I might have to look at that. I got an Amazon order coming now because if I'd forgotten about this, Kaz told me that if you place an order on specific items that qualify, if your order's over $49, they ship it to you free to the Philippines. But it has to be, so make sure if you place an order and you're over here, that it qualifies for free shipping. And it'll tell you under the item. But I ordered one of my own books. I didn't have the physical book, but I had to get it once. One of my subscribers had given one to Derek Q and his girlfriend, and they bought it to the last meet and greet I had in St. Carlos City, and they wanted me to sign it. And man, I needed one after that. And then I bought some pink oil moisturizer for Booby's hair. You know, it works great. TJ sent us some before. And I bought some stuff from Maryland, some lotion. He said, use Johnny Air to ship stuff to you from the United States. A laptop purchased on Newegg took 5 days to get to me. Wow. Now, did you have to pay any custom fees? Because I know Angelo Habib was looking at a computer on Amazon, and it added custom fees to it. He said, iPostal uploads your mail for $9.99 a month, then you view it. And that's basically all my daughter does. Hey, Jeffrey Chatty said, let us know what you need if you make a bicycle trip. I'll make sure it gets there in time. Yeah. Hey, man, thank you, brother, because he sent me some stuff for the walk, but it went into that black hole. When you mail it, it's going to go into that black hole. And you track it, it'll show it got to Manila, then you don't see it. And it got to me afterwards, man. But these kids tore up all that mixed nuts and all this stuff you sent. Man, stuff was delicious. I don't even know if we got any more of that, what was that? You know, the drink we were pouring in the water. That hydration stuff you sent us. But yeah, we'll let you know. It's going to be in the next couple of months because I'm getting in shape for it now. He says if she is broke and then you go broke paying for her, now you're both broke. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to think about that, Robert. That's a great analogy. Remember, you're 8,000 miles from home. I just like to talk about stuff that nobody talks about. If you see YouTube, it's all glamour. It's all romance. And nobody ever stops to think, well, damn, as nice as these women are, they got everything that a man wants, but they leave out, but they're broke. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's problems that come along with that. So just talk about the problems. There's good and bad to that. There's no right or wrong. But you can make an informed choice. Is this really what I want? Okay, there you go, Cisco International. There's my email. Send me an email and I'll give you my address. What's up, TJ? He said, we talking about the topic here or we into something else? When we talking about the topic, we're giving the Philippines its flowers. I know you're a staunch critic, man, and talk about the infrastructure and all that. We're not doing that today. Every place has its ups and downs. But we're going to give the Philippines its flowers today because millions of people come here. Everybody couldn't be wrong about this place. Okay, one of the things I really like about it is the warm weather. I love the warm weather here. I love the beaches. Of course, the women. The Philippines, I don't know of any other country, though, that checks off as many boxes as the Philippines. They speak English. The immigration, yeah, you can stay here for 3 years before you ever, have to leave. Okay, he says, I'll get in touch, Kuya Cal. I'd love to send some items for you and the fam. Thanks, man. I appreciate the thought that goes into that. Yeah, you both be broke. He says, LBC is the most popular bag box delivery in the USA. Yeah, if they've got one in your area. I forgot who we were using because we had sort of like a middleman. This guy was married to a Filipina and he got smart. Okay, so what he would do, he would come around and get the boxes and charge you a certain amount and then take them to the main place and get, be less. I think he was making like $10 a box or something. He made a business out of it, but he wasn't the one shipping it. He was taking it to the shipper. He said heavy drug use in the 80s took a toll on my memory. My wife and I think moving back to the Philippines is the best option for me. Yeah, this is true right here. He says, go to a Philippine restaurant in the U.S. They will tell you the nearest balik bayan service. There's always a place close by, but I'm a beach guy. I'm an island guy. I love the greenery, the 24/7 greenery over here, 365 days a year. That has a lot to do with your positive attitude. It has a lot to do with your attitude, period. The weather does. You don't believe me, man. Some of you guys, it's cold where you are, snow, you can't really get out, not a lot going on, man. It affects your mentality. And the thing about, I don't care how I'm feeling. If I walk outside in that sunlight, man, I'm going to feel a whole lot better. I don't care how hot it is. Just seeing that sun does something for me. The coconut trees, the palm trees. And then don't take me to a nice beach, man. I'm done. Yeah, I think it was called Alpha Brain. What's up, Willie? He said, I think you should swim to Cebu, Cal. The news will be there recording. Well, hell, I tell you what, some Filipinos just done something like that. I don't know where he swam to or swam from, but it was a hell of a distance. I ain't fooling with that water. Okay, he's heading that way in 82 days. It may possibly be my last trip there visiting. Next time will probably be permanently. Well, I know you've taken advantage of a lot of the good things about the Philippines. Built a house and a guest house. Well, hell, your guest house is bigger than your house. But you can tell people how affordable it is to build a house here. Like I told people earlier, my house it cost me $1,000,000 pesos, but it didn't cost the engineer $1,000,000. He made a profit on it. I guarantee you he did. So if you come over here and you spend anywhere from, just say it's just you, or just you and your girlfriend, You don't think you could take 500,000 pesos? You're gonna buy your cheap lot somewhere, and 500,000 pesos wouldn't build you a nice one bedroom house, one bedroom, one bath, with your living room and kitchen together. You don't think it would? I think it would. I don't think you have any problems doing that. But we don't think about it. We just think about, um, hey, Willie Cook, he says, I'm having withdrawals. I see you in October. He's got a channel. I think it's just called Willie Cook, right? But thanks for that super chat. Yeah, that's why I couldn't stay away long. I started having withdrawals, man. I had to get back to this place, man. Just the sound. People talk about the roosters. I love to hear the roosters, man. Now, these damn dogs are getting on my nerves at night because, they'll bark at anything that moves. But that's like a burglar alarm. But in the daytime, you don't hear them. It's only at night. He said, also, it can be a staunch critic of the Philippines and have something nice to say. There aren't mutually exclusive concepts. Yeah, I know. I'm just, how it is, TJ. You know that you always ready to carry that Thailand flag. There's nothing wrong with that. He said, did anybody see that the female cop that slept with 5 other cops got a $500,000 settlement? What a clown show in the U.S. What happened? I mean, what did she get? I think she was wrongfully fired or something. Why did they pay her? Well, that's one thing, though, about the United States, liability. There's no liability over here, really. Okay, if you die in a bus crash, you dead. A lot of times they may come up with a settlement with the bus company to pay for your burial or something, but it's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of liability here. But in America, there is liability. Hell, if you died if the Greyhound bus station crashed, a Greyhound bus crashed and you died, your family would get paid. What's Happy Man 69 talking about? Everybody, he said, I thought he and Paul were cool. Younger generation, I guess. What are you talking about? He said, you are right. This guy that Cal has tried to help, but man, I could not deliver some of the comments he told this female blogger. What's he talking about? I don't understand. What's he saying? What y'all talking about? Let's see. He said, I always put on a budget. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He says, the female vloggers receiving so much attention from the men. How could you take it seriously with a female vlogger? He said, the bigger your city, he said, the faster you will receive it. Yeah, because it goes to one of those major cities, then they send it out. Yeah, residuals, yeah, makes a big difference. What's up, Cedric? Yeah, if you're on a budget, stay on a budget, man. I mean, I can't uh, reiterate that. But a lot of us don't have budgets. We don't have budgets over there. We just spend till the money's gone. That's not a budget. Then you borrow against that. He said, Austin Alman got a lot of kitty cat too, yeah. He said, there are some YouTube bloggers that only post one video per week. Yeah, it depends on your views. If you got a lot of views, I mean, and it's and you're monetized, and it's paying your bills, why would you? He said 91 on a $1,100 laptop. Oh, okay. I see. He said, Cal, I know you are tired of telling some old guys like me over and over again about these women, but man, I saw comments today from one of your subscribers who's head over heels with this vlogger. Yeah, I'm not really tired. It's something we need to talk more about. It's just, men just aren't going to listen. We was talking about that earlier. It's just, I said, tenderonis are a dime a dozen, literally over here. And I don't advise making women the focus or the priority, but I understand. A lot of men, they've given up on dating and everything over there. So then they come over here and they get a younger woman. She's attractive. And, they don't remember anything you tell them or advise them or suggest to them. And some people literally lose their minds, man. And, once you cross that line, there's no coming back. There's nothing you can tell them. They're on their honeymoon period forever. That's a dangerous place to be. He said, Cal mentioned earlier that a subscriber was just down there, but I don't know if he elaborated on whether or not the dude saw Rudy. No, he saw Fred, though. I don't know what happened to Rudy. Somebody got in his ear. We really wasn't hard on Rudy. And James, the same thing, man. We don't make people the butt out of jokes. We were just having fun. James is over here now. I saw him on Geechee Lion's live stream where Geechee Lion was previewing his album. I didn't say anything to him. He don't want to be bothered. I'm not going to bother him. He said Sunshine Shoulders, they called on it Alpha Brain Premium Nootropic Brain Supplements. Yeah, if that's the one from Joe Rogan. Yeah. Okay, she said she did a reverse, Uno, and said that she was sexually assaulted by her coworkers. Wow. Now, see, you can get away with that over there. Yeah, he said James is over here and we demand answers. Yeah, he's over here, man, but I don't know. Because a lot of guys, they'll come over here and they'll do everything opposite of what we talk about on these channels. And they don't want people to know. They're really embarrassed about it. And, it's their life. If you could do whatever you want to do, you're a grown man and you are going to do whatever you want to do. But I think moving in with the woman's family over here is not a good idea. And I believe that's what he's doing. And a lot of people are doing. I wouldn't do that. But, some guys, that's the way they're trying to save money, cut back on expenses, by not having rent. But, boy, you giving up a whole lot. No, of what we're talking about. He ain't did that. He did exactly what he was talking about doing. But, you just can't. But we wasn't making fun of him in his situation, man. You know how much business I sent him on his website? If he'd have stayed on his community, hell, he'd be making money off his artwork right now from the people who follow my channel. We was not making fun of James. James was the one making us laugh just based on him being James. Somebody is more than likely, his woman was watching. Y'all don't realize the control a lot of these women have over guys. They'll make them stop watching a channel. They'll misinterpret like, what are they doing? They're laughing at you, honey. Don't go back on there, and that's it. You won't hear from them anymore. Okay? Because James was benefiting from this channel. Okay, his channel that he got probably would have blown up by now. We don't make fun of people on here, man, because I don't allow it. We just go as far as they go. You know, people get in these men's ears. Look at Buck and all that. We never made fun of Buck, man. Buck was joking like everybody else. Yeah, I guarantee you that what it was. But people get in, you know, people like Buck, Rudy, they get in their ear. James, he wasn't making fun of these guys. Yeah, he said James' girl was losing face and felt some way about it. Yeah, you know, because they really, yeah, I've got a PayPal. Look under, he says, the Real CP Show said, Brother Cal, do you have a Cash App or PayPal for ones who want to donate? I've got a PayPal link that I usually put in all my videos. I don't think I put it in this one on my live streams, but I do. And thanks for your consideration. But I can't put it on there right now. Wait. I can do it like this. Hold on. I've got one. Here it is right here. There it is on my banner. But thanks for your consideration. Yeah, I do have PayPal. You know, we can't have Cash App over here. If you're outside the United States, you can't have it. Now, if you started it in the United States and then you come over here and you get a VPN, you probably can maintain it. But when I left the United States, I don't think they were. I didn't have a channel. I didn't learn about Cash App till I got over here. Yeah, I mean, they don't understand that it's all in fun. We don't mean that. But when you get other disgruntled people, remember Misery Loves Company. Oh, and Calvin, man, I wouldn't let him talk about me like that. They making fun of you, man, and all that. See, it don't really take a whole lot, guys. I promise you. He says, I would like to watch one of those videos with James in it. I've never seen any of those videos. I mean, he really was a good guy, very talented. You know, I was trying to help him. I was sending business to his website. People on here was buying stuff from him. She just said, wait, is that why we don't see Buck no more? That's crazy. Buck was as good of a shit talker as anyone. Yeah, that's what happened. They're telling him we're making fun of him and putting him down, which, man, that was back and forth. It was all for fun. You know, but I know the guys who was doing it. You know, so I understand now why he backed out of there. You know, but it doesn't make sense to me, man. See, this is the reason why things go wrong for guys over here. They misinterpret stuff, you know, they got the wrong people in their ear. They shouldn't be over here by themselves, man. But that's when it all goes wrong. That's when it all goes wrong. He said, I left to get groceries. Yeah, I got about 5 minutes. Which one was Bobby? Bobby who? Oh, yeah, you're talking about Texas Zoe. Well, I don't know what his thing was. I really don't. I don't know what Texas the Zoids was. And Buck, somebody got in Buck's ear. Rudy, him and Texas the Zoids real close. OG Fred, I heard it was his wife that made him stop, you know, basically following me and supporting me. And then, of course, James, I think it was his woman. Because we certainly didn't do nothing to James or OG Fred. But I'm just saying, you know, people do that. You know, people get, you know, some people, they don't like my religious views and stuff like that, which my beliefs have nothing to do with your salvation. I respect people's religion, but, you know, they just, you know, they're supposed to be Christians and whatever, but they don't practice the Christian principles. of forgiveness and tolerance and all that. Like, okay, now Mike had his own channel. I think Mike's got his own channel, Kano something. I don't remember Jimmy. Or is it James you're talking about? But it's just how it is, guys. My core base is still here from the day one, though. And I'm proud of that. Some guys are not there anymore. Like that really shocked me. Um, what's the guy's name? He's in Elo. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Okay, yeah. What was the guy's name who came up with the NTZ? He said, I don't respect people's belief. I respect their right to have their beliefs. Yeah. I reserve the right to call their beliefs with all due respect bullshit. Guys, hit the like button, before Cal gets out of here. Thank you, Big Love. There's Bridget, as it's supposed to be a woman. I don't think it is. I think it's a man. He said, I honestly think Bobby got pissed off when we were making fun of his frozen screen. Yeah, because that's the last time dude picked up one of my calls. Yeah, it was just funny though, but we didn't do it. His internet froze. And man, it was funny, man. But it's all in fun, really. You know. Hey, thank you, Philippine Paradise. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for your super chats, super stickers, all your support for me, man. I appreciate it, man. I never take that for granted. Thank y'all for your memberships, everything, man. Whenever you come to the Philippines, I got your back. I built that guest house, man. That's Angelo. That's anybody's ever stayed over there. I'm who I am all the time, 24/7, man. That's why a lot of vloggers don't deal with me. They're into the entertainment business. I'm in the real life business, man. I'm gonna tell you how it really is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna give you any bullshit. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm seeing in front of me, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. And it goes against the grain with other guys because they know that I'm liable to say something that's gonna mess up the honeymoon period that they're on, which really I'm not trying to do that. I just don't want guys to get ambushed, man. That's all. I wish it was the sunshine shoulders for me when I came over here, because boy, I never would have spent that 20,000. I never would have bought that engagement ring. That's a lot of money, man. If I could have the money back that I tricked off over here, man, if y'all just had the money that I had wasting on these ATM fees and these remittance fees, just the fees. Because people say, oh, well, Remitly only charges me $3.99 up front. Yeah, but they get you on the back end with the exchange rate, guys. It's 56.40 right now. They're going to give you something like 54 or something. So if you send $100, then what is that? 250 pesos plus the $3.99. That's every time you do it. Imagine if you send 1,000. Now you're talking 2,500 pesos. I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know that I could open up a bank account. The Philippines has laws now where you don't have to be a resident to open up a bank account over here. Well, that made it a whole lot easier once I did that. And once a month, I transfer all my money over here. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. I'm going to watch some of these highlights. I can't sit through a whole basketball game anymore. I like the highlights. That's what I like to do. And March Madness, I hate to say it, But the NCAA college basketball is a whole lot more exciting than the NBA. I can't even watch the highlights for NBA. Everybody's breaking records all of a sudden, scoring all these points. They walking, they walking, they double dribbling, traveling. I'm like, they don't even, they've taken I mean, really, it looks like the WWE for real. Good and well, they're walking and traveling and, I mean, go on YouTube, you think I'm playing. They'll double dribble, man. They'll pick up their dribble, then start dribbling again and go and score, and they don't stop it. I'm like, this is something. This looks like this the Washington Capitals? Remember they used to play the Harlem Globetrotters? That's what it looks like now. It's crazy, man. That Euro step, but it's worse than a Euro step. Thanks, Mr. Ringo, for that super chat. He says, and Filipinos, like any Western women, will test their influence over you. Oh yeah, well that's a whole other. I said the Washington Capitals, didn't I? That's a whole other video, Mr. Ringo. You might have given me an idea. Yeah, the Washington Generals. I said the Washington Capitals. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's hell of a season to be a Dodger fan. Take care, y'all. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. Did I eat anything? I don't think I did.